On today's episode of the Doug Zone 503 podcast, we preview the quarterback position heading into Spring Ball 2023. I'm your host, Dominic Peterson, and this is the Doug Zone 503 podcast where we talk all things Oregon football. Whether it's your first time viewing or long time viewing, I kindly ask that you hit that like and subscribe button down below. But most importantly, guys, telling your friends and family about the podcast, word of mouth, guys, is what really helps grow this podcast the fastest. I really, really do appreciate everybody that's locked in here on YouTube and also our social medias on Instagram and Twitter at DougZone503. Simple search. Go ahead and hit the follow buttons right there to join the Doug Zone 503 family. Without a doubt, guys, we're going to continue rolling out our spring previews. We're doing each position group. Today, we're doing the quarterback position. The Oregon spring game is April 29th. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. I will see you guys there. Say what's up if you see me. All right, so we're going to start with the obvious QB1 coming into this year, Bo Nix. Oregon returns, fun fact, guys, Oregon returns a starting quarterback for the first time since Justin Herbert in 2019. Can you believe that? It's been a full 4 years since we can say as Duck fans, we have a returning quarterback. So that feels pretty good. Bo Nix committed last year, and there were some mixed reactions in the Duck community and within our fan group and around the country. This was a big talking point when Nix decided to come here to Oregon. Reasons to believe this was a good move for me when he came in is he was playing behind a veteran offensive line last year, plenty of talented skill positions, and he was reuniting with Kenny Dillingham in Eugene, his first position group coach that he had at Auburn. And there was reason for skepticism. I get it. Some people had some skepticism when he was coming into Oregon. He had some turnover problems at Auburn, never really showed his elite 5-star talent there that everybody was talking about when he was coming out of high school. But look, guys, Nick silenced all his haters and doubters in 2022, putting up career high numbers across the board. He threw for 3,593 yards and 29 touchdowns against just 7 interceptions. Career numbers. Completing an Oregon single season record of 71.9% of his passes, just about 72%. I mean, what more can you ask for? That's elite. Nix was also elite with his legs. He rushed for 510 yards and 14 touchdowns, guys. Biggest question surrounding Nix is whether if he can have that same success. Okay, in 2023, he's coming in with a new offensive coordinator and basically a new offensive line. And those are not easy things to just replace nice and easy. That's not technically something you can just plug and play. I mean, these things have to mesh. These things have to gel, especially an offensive line coach to a coordinator to a quarterback. They got to be on the same page. Might be a little change in the offense. Now, I did hear Dan Lanning and Will Stein say that there's not going to be much changes to the offense, but there is going to be some. The offensive line added some big pieces from the transfer portal to minimize the departure of numerous veterans leaving, like guys that have been here for years. Now, there are still guys here like Jackson Powers Johnson that's going to step in, right? We're bringing in transfers like a Johnny Cornelius, George Silva, nice recruiting class offensive lineman as well. So, nonetheless, there's going to be guys that step up. There's going to be guys ready to play up front. It's just a matter of do these guys gel as well as they did last year. And that's going to affect Bo Nix's play, none of the doubt. That's a benefit for Bo Nix, is you return your leading rusher and receiver off of last year. You got Bucky Irvin back, you got Noah Whittington back, you got Troy Franklin back. So, bunch of weapons back. Another year of you guys getting more chemistry and stuff like that. Now, we're going to go ahead and transfer into the backup quarterback spots after this drink of water, guys. Gotta hydrate. Always drink some water. Gotta stay hydrated. All right. So, backup quarterback. Obviously, we got Ty Thompson back there. A lot of people, a lot of talk and chatter about Ty Thompson. I get it. Lots of controversy around Ty Thompson. Is he living up to the hype? Is he a bust? Some people have given up on him. Some people want to see him more to see what he can do. Ty Thompson enters spring as a projected, really primary backup for Nix. He pretty much has a QB2 spot locked up unless he has a poor performance and Novosad can beat him out in the spring. But we'll see here. He's seen limited game snaps, often playing in blowouts near the end of games. I've seen recent pictures of this dude, and let me just tell you guys, he's looked physically built up. This guy has stacked up. He's coming into form, okay? He might be hitting his full potential here coming into this year. Now, in the transfer portal era, the era that we live in where guys kind of just bounce if they don't play, it's kind of really cool to see the loyalty that Ty Thompson has to Oregon. Despite all the chatter that the fans have about him, despite him, pretty much knowing that Nick's coming back and he's not going to really be playing this year, he's going to have backup minutes. Kind of cool to see him stay loyal, stay on his grind, and he's gonna have a shot in 2024 for QB1 if he just continues with this process. Now, he kind of struggled in that Washington game when he had a big opportunity to lead Oregon down the field and beat our rival. And as you see, the coaching staff didn't even let him throw a pass down the field. 4 straight run plays. Washington scores, and the game's pretty much over. So it wasn't a good look at the end of the season for Ty Thompson. It wasn't a good look as a fan to look down and see that the coaches weren't even letting him pass the ball. And that just comes with trust, right? You got to be able to execute the offense. Ty Thompson has a lot of offensive coordinators in his coaching career now, or in his career here at Oregon. Hopefully, Will Stein is the type of coach that will make him hit his full potential. And he doesn't need to do it necessarily this year either. He doesn't need to be an elite star this year. We already got Bo Nix, our starter. Now, if Bo Nix goes down, we're going to need him to be ready. But really what we're kind of aiming for with Ty Thompson is just to have him ready for 2024, because we need a guy for 2024, no doubt. 3 things to watch during the spree game for Ty Thompson, really, that I'm going to be watching for, I guess, is number 1, how efficient is he? His passing percentage. If he has a good passing percentage, is really completing passes, that just shows how much he develops. It's showing how much he can read a defense. And that was my number 2 point is he reading the defense correctly, right? You kind of seen him throw the ball in the wrong areas, throw the ball in dangerous spots at times. I want to see him be able to know what the defense is doing before he snaps the ball and pass the ball in the right area, even if it's incomplete. At least get the ball in the right area of the field, right? Where you're supposed to be going with the ball. And then number 3 is he patient in the pocket? Now in the spring game, they're not going to be able to tackle the quarterback, so we're not going to be able to really, for real, see him escape the pocket as he would in a normal fast live action game. But still, I want to be able to see him, and he's usually pretty good at this, is getting out of the pocket or staying patient in that pocket and delivering a nice solid throw. He kind of tends to get a little antsy at times and kind of gets out of the pocket a little too early. I like to see him stay patient in that pocket. Last but not least, guys, we got Austin Novosad. So Austin Novosad is the newcomer in the quarterback room, 4-star quarterback coming out of high school. I would have interviewed this kid, Novosad, and man, really nice kid, solid head on his shoulders, knows exactly what the situation he's coming into, just coming in to develop, learn from one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in Bo Nix, right? He put up really, really impressive numbers playing against some of the best talent in the country in the Lone Star State. While he isn't expected to see the field much as a true freshman, he'll at least be able to push Thompson for that backup spot if he plays well, right? And on top of that, he can develop under Nix in his final year of college football. So the long-term plan for Novosad is to have him ready to compete for that quarterback 1 job come spring 2024. And the expectation is Ty Thompson. That's his job to lose for next year if everything goes right, in a perfect world. But if Novosad's ready and it just proves to be Novosad's going to take over Ty Thompson's spot, I think we just got to go with the guy that can play the position better, right? It doesn't matter if you're older or more physically developed. If you know how to play the position better, that guy needs to play, right? So in the room, transfers out, you got Jay Butterfield, who returned home to the Bay Area by transferring to San Jose State. Always liked Jay Butterfield, really good, solid pocket passer. I think he can do some big things. Just wasn't able to get no play time here at Oregon behind Anthony Brown and Ty Thompson, and now Bo Nix is coming back for another year. So he wants to go play somewhere. All best of luck to Jay Butterfield. I always like to watch former Ducks just to see what they do at these other schools, right? Robbie Ashford's another one, guys. If you guys want to go see him, he didn't transfer out this year. He transferred out last year, but he has a chance to start at Auburn. He played a little bit last year at Auburn. Didn't exactly take over that spot like I wish he did, but who knows? Another year of development, another year of training, he could do it there. Walk-ons for Oregon for this year. We got a couple walk-ons coming on. Jack Van Dyne, Marcus Sanders, and then local Sheldon standout Brock Thomas is another one for you guys. Never the doubt. That's your guys' quarterback preview for spring 2023. I'll continue rolling out these spring previews, each position group, as the week goes on, leading up to the spring game on April 29th, 1 p.m. kickoff. I'll be at the spring game. Hope to see you guys there. I really appreciate everyone for tuning in once again. I'm your host, Dominic Peterson, and this is the Doug Zone 503 podcast, where we talk all things Oregon football. If you haven't already, guys, hit that like and subscribe button down below. As always, guys, go Ducks, and I'll see you in the next podcast.